Welcome to Vedic Wisdom Insights. Let's discuss today about happiness. Exactly what is happiness? What's the real definition of happiness? Ultimately, our objective is to get happy in whatever task and objective that we do. Now let's understand from the works of Swami Vivekanand and from our Vedas, what does it says about happiness? Here Swamiji says that Vedanta shows that everything that is joyful in this life is but a particle of that real joy, because that is the only joy there is. Wherever there is any blessing, blissfulness or joy, even the joy of the thief in stealing, it is that absolute bliss coming out. Only it has become obscured, muddled up, as it were, with all sorts of extraneous conditions and misunderstood. Now here we see how happiness is either in the body or in the mind. However, with animals and in the lowest of human beings, who are as like animals, happiness is all in the body. Whatever activity these animals and the lowest human beings do, they gratify their senses and work for material rewards. However, those men, they find a higher plane of happiness, that of thought. And in the Jnani, there is a highest plane of happiness in the self, the Atman. So to the philosopher, this knowledge of the self is of the highest utility, because it gives him the highest happiness possible. Sense gratification or physical things cannot be of the highest utility to him, because he does not find in them the same pleasure that he finds in knowledge itself. And after all, knowledge is the one goal and is really the highest happiness we know. Man thinks foolishly that he can make himself happy. However, after years of struggle, he finds out that at last, that true happiness consists in killing selfishness, and that no one can make him happy except himself. So, as long as there is desire, no real happiness can come. It is only the contemplative, witness-like study of objects that bring us to real enjoyment and happiness. Now look in the animals, where the happiness is all in the senses, where is the man in his intellect and the God in spiritual contemplation. It is only to the soul that has attained to this contemplative state that the world really becomes beautiful. To him who desires nothing and does not mix himself up with them, the manifold changes of nature are one panorama of beauty and sublimity. Ultimately, the human mind is made from Maya, and the world is made from Maya. Therefore, we think that happiness is in outside world. But in reality, when we face that world, we see that we have got so much problems and dissatisfaction, and ultimately the misery comes in our life. Now here Swami Vivekanand says that after every happiness comes misery. They may be far apart or near. The more advanced the soul, the more quickly does one follow the other. What we want is neither happiness nor misery, because both make us forget our true nature. Both are chains, one iron, one gold. Behind bond is the Atman, who knows neither happiness nor misery. So here Swamiji says that the miseries of the world cannot be cured by physical help only. Until man changes his nature, these physical needs will arise and miseries will always be felt, and no amount of physical help will cure them completely. The only solution to this problem is to make mankind pure. Ignorance is the mother of all the evil and all the misery we see. If we go to Bhagavad Gita, here ShreeKrishna Bhagwan has said to Arjun that there are three modes of nature. One is Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. Now people who are Tamasic, they are in the mode of ignorance. They think that happiness is in the body. Happiness is in satisfying the glances. Happiness is going and chasing for the outside world, that is smoking cigarettes, drinking liquor, doing gambling, intoxication, unethical activities, gossiping, discussing about people's life, spending time, laziness, procrastination, excessive sleep. So all this is giving the pleasure, but ultimately that pleasure dries away, because that is a material pleasure and that is a temporary pleasure. What we are looking for here is the bliss, and the bliss can only come once we unite our will with the divine will of God. And for that we have to understand the self, the soul, the Paramatma who is seated inside us. Once we understand the identity that we are not this body, we are not the mind, we are not the intellect and senses, but we are the soul, a part and parcel of God. And the only happiness and the ultimate happiness will only come when we unite our will with the divine will of God. So let's understand this, let's take this lesson and change our life. Initially it will be difficult because, as I said, that mind is made from Maya. The world is made from Maya. Therefore mind will naturally go into material world. But we have to bring back our mind. Again mind will run, again bring back our mind. And with practice, definitely we can realize our original identity. I hope everybody will follow this suggestion and will make their life beautiful. And ultimately, we will realize our goal, that is the self-realization and God realization.